Alright, so this is a tier list of essentially what I feel is a lot more accurate than a lot of people will say. Because I see some people who will be putting some killers in super low tiers, but they deserve middle, or they'll put them in high tiers, and I'll be like, they deserve middle, or middle should be higher. What? Alright. Trapper, B tier. Why do I put Trapper B tier? Because he's not that good, but he's not bad. It depends on the player, but his maximum skill is not that high. Because the traps take too long to place, and even if you do get a couple traps, you only saved like, chances are you only saved like a couple chases. Wraith, I'm gonna put him C tier, just cause he's not really all that good when it comes to chases or even really moving all that fast. Extra extra 5% movement speed isn't worth anything. He's just kind of, if he truly was anything, he still gets looped, all that stuff. Even if you like know how to stop generators, he still sucks. Hillbilly, A tier easily. Great mobility, insta downing chainsaw. That one's pretty self-explanatory though, but of course, in a lot of cases, he still gets looped. So not S tier. Nurse, S tier. I mean, anybody who's versed a nurse who's really good knows. Easy S tier. And let's see who came out next. Myers. Myers. He used to be A tier. Now he's B tier because people know how to counter him a lot better. So he's not all that good. But because what does tier 3 really do? You slowed the game gets sped up so that you can have a couple of downs really quickly. Nah, not that powerful. The terror radius makes it really good, and the faster vaulting is really good. But for tier 2, it's still just kind of an M1 killer to me. And then the next one who came out was Hag. Hag, I put A tier for Hag. You can stop generators like it's nothing. Hag is great. I know I would put her S tier, but the truth is a flashlight and some urban evasions, and she's not anything. Definitely A tier. Hag, definitely underrated, but because no one plays her, no one knows how to play her right. So that's why nobody plays her. But every other killer, like there's like 5 different YouTubers out there who are like, oh, this is how you play this killer amazingly. Hag, you don't really have that, so nobody knows how to play her. But she is very powerful and has incredible map pressure, similar to nurses. But the problem is she gets looped easily with her one-time movement speed, and she's short, so visibility is a little bit harder. Now, of course, the next one came out, Doctor. Doctor, there is no stealth with Doctor, which could make him A tier, but his looping is still bad. But he does have shock therapy. You put on, especially since his slight rework, I guess, more of a buff than anything that people call it. His looping skills. You put on you put on a two brown offerings. You put on a, what's the term? Multi electrode and order, and you got yourself an A tier killer right there off of 2 very easy brown common offerings. Plus, with his static blast now, you can control it when people scream. So it's easily like he has a built-in whispers. He's A tier in my opinion. I would say not necessarily an underrated killer though, because people do play him a lot. And then That's why I think he's really good. And then next killer who came out was Huntress or Leatherface. I think it was Huntress who came out next. Huntress is an obvious A tier. If you're incredible with hatchets, you could probably get her to S tier. But to most people, I'd say she's A tier. She's incredible, actually. She can be. If you watch all the experts play her, they'll usually 4K just because they can launch their hatchets over buildings and across the map. Those exact hits. A tier. Leatherface, I don't incredibly know whether he's the worst or the C tier. I'm gonna say, I am honestly not sure with him. Sometimes he gets looped pretty easily, but the chainsaw helps at lower ranks. But the reason I don't put him D tier and I put him C tier for one reason alone. That's because Iron Grasp is not a killer specific perk. So you get Iron Grasp for him, you can get it pretty quickly. You can get people to the basement and just annihilate people, which is actually B tier quality in my opinion. Everyone always says he's the worst killer. It's like it's because you have to camp with him. It's a rule, like you have to. But if you camp and tunnel with him, not even tunneling, but just camping alone, you camp with him, he's B tier right off the bat. Now, who was released after him? Ah, yes, Freddy. Freddy's an S tier. He would be A tier, but since he's so incredibly easy to learn for the amount of power that he has, easily S tier. You know, that lunge, generator teleporting, snares, that's chase, control, map pressure, and on top of that, he's not difficult like Nurse to play. You know, with Hag and with Hag, you know, you have to know where to place the traps to be really good with her. With Doctor, you have to know when to static blast. Huntress, you have to get damn good with those hatchets. Billy, you have to know where to chainsaw, how to chainsaw, get a bit of map memory so you can go across. You know, utilize his mobility. Nurse is incredibly difficult to learn. Freddy, oh, you just kind of place a couple snares, swing, and teleport. It's easy. He's S tier because he's just not difficult to play at all, which gives incredible power if you actually know what you're doing with him. So, easy S tier for him. Next, we got the pig. Pig's garbage. She's just garbage.
Are you kidding me? Pig is S tier.
Pig is S tier. Yep. I mean, maybe she's not exactly that bad because she does have. She's good. She's like B tier or C tier when it comes to like indoor maps, but for the most part, most maps are outdoors. Auto Haven, Cold Wind. You know, we'll put her C tier just because she can crouch and what's the word? Right, she can tunnel the crap out of people when they got those bear traps on. So I'll put her C tier. And then the next release was Clown. Clown D tier. He sucks. He just sucks. He couldn't protect a gen to save his ass. He's just like, I don't agree with anyone who says Clown is anything higher than C tier. He's just not that good. I'm not saying you can't 4K with him at all, even at high ranks. I'm just saying it's so difficult, and you have to like so extra utilize his ability to punish survivors' mistakes that it just almost always ends up being you're gonna have at least half the team escaping from getting the gens done and just escaping chases. Because what's his power really gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna throw the pallet down one loop early. Wow, you save 5 seconds. He's just weak, incredibly weak. Needs a faster movement speed. He needs to be the first killer to have a faster movement speed than 115. And then next release, I believe was Spirit. Spirit used to be A, maybe S, but now I'm gonna say Spirit is about B tier. They made scratch marks a lot harder to follow. They made no collision, so you can't even get generator swaps or grabs. She's B tier. She's definitely stronger than Leatherface, I will say, but she's like the very highest of the B tier. And somebody who I feel is completely underrated, Legion. He's A tier. Legion, he can whoop ass. Contrary to what many believe, you probably verse a bunch of Legions who suck Camp Tunnel and they don't know what they're doing. Because everyone I've ever met who played Legion was a 7-year-old dude who is just pathetic human beings, I guess. I don't know. They're just usually just 7-year-olds. Nothing wrong with being seven. You're not pathetic for being seven. It's just 7-year-olds or people who are just like pathetic camping tunnelers. So it's kind of the same thing with Hag. People don't know how to play him right, but if you play him right, I guarantee you every game will get you at least 2 kills. Every game that I ever play as Legion, I always either get 2 kills or 4 kills because Legion is just a great killer. He's high mobility. He can run really fast. He can hit many people at once, which means it helps in the chase, especially with vaulting pallets. It's the whole shebang with him. And now he's a normal movement speed killer. His lunge is decent, just like the rest of them. I truly believe he is an A tier. Plague. Since her buff, she went from C to B. I don't like Plague at all. You can't really counter her, which means she's above a D tier because she has no counter really. You can say not cleansing, but she'll still get that corrupt intervention. So B tier. And then the next killer, da 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 da, Ghostface. He's debatable between A and B. He his thing helps in a chase. He's stealth. He's not necessarily high mobility, but he can go throughout the map without being detected. Get some grabs off of generators, some yoinks. Get some real good yoinks off of him. He's I'd say if he was a B tier, he'd be the highest of the B tier. If he was A tier, he'd be the lowest of the A tier. I'll say I don't play him that well. I can definitely say I just don't play him that well. But that's kind of why I play him at like a C tier level. But most people can play him at least a B tier, maybe an A tier. I wouldn't all the way know with him. I want to put him in B tier, but I'm not totally sure. Well, actually, no, because I forgot. You actually can bump him out of his power pretty easily. You just have to keep your screen steady. Steady like my stuttering. What words? Alright, who came out next? Oni. Oni's A tier. High mobility, insta downing, incredible steering. He's basically just Billy version 2.0. He's really good. He has incredible tracking abilities. so it helps with the chase and with gen stopping. Not so much, but definitely with the chase it helps. Demogorgon. He's the Demogorgon. I'll say I don't know with him. I'm gonna say B tier because same thing with Pig. You know, he's he's a lot better on indoor maps because when people start to close the portals, next to generators and stuff, he plays really well because you can go up to them and get them off guard easily. He's a great killer, and the shredding helps a lot, but he can be gen rushed like it's nothing unless you put his portals in the right spot. Simple as that. Death Slinger. Death Slinger, you suck. I've played you before. You are the reverse Huntress. Huntress can shoot next to you and hit. Deathslinger can get a perfect hit and miss. Deathslinger, your aim is whack. You're a 110 movement speed. You're just you're tall, so I suppose that's better for chases, but with him being a 110, you want to be really small. You can get a lot closer. Good for the tear radius, but on outdoor maps you could be seen from a mile away and get looped like it's nothing. Your ass. Really fun as hell to play, but he's weak. Pyramid Head, I haven't actually seen much of him. Best I could do is assume B tier, maybe A tier. I've seen his judgment before. I've seen the ability to just more people, which is really good. Ayo, Pyramid Head's a 115 movement speed, right? I suppose I could put him A tier, but I don't. I've seen enough of him to know. I think I'd say B tier, high B tier, maybe low A tier. I'll just say B tier. But this is what I believe is the best for all of this stuff. The tiers. See, four, 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 four. All right, good. So I got all 20 of them in. Was it 16? One, two. Yeah, yeah, all 20 of them. That's what I believe. It's indeed really, really good. You know, Freddy and Nurse at S tier. Billy, Hag, Doctor, Huntress, Legion, Oni, and Demogorgon, A tier. B tier, we got Trapper, Myers, Leatherface. I know everyone hates me for saying that about Leatherface. Spirit, Plague, Ghostface, Pyramid Head. I'd say most people would prefer that Spirit is A tier, but she's not that good anymore. And then C tier, we have Wraith, Pig, Deathslinger, and all the way in D tier, the Homeboy, and an actually really fun killer to play. We got Clown. Well, thanks for watching this video. Do not like or subscribe if you don't want to. If you didn't like the video, make sure to hit that dislike button, and I'll be out.